Hello, my name is Quang, and welcome to my presentation for MGT 208. So today I'll be exploring how two managers, one from a for-profit business and one from a not-for-profit student organization. So the approach, stakeholder management, I interviewed both using the four semi-structured questions and compare the responses using the stakeholder theory and related management concept. So this is the table of content. So for this project, I interviewed two professional. The first one is Simon. He's a manager at a social media company operating for profit. The second one is Tom. He's a coordinator at a university-based student support association, which is a non-for-profit organizations. So each answer the same four questions about stakeholders, priorities, tensions, and also social responsibility. So let's explore what I found. The first question is about who are the key stakeholders. So when I asked about key stakeholder, Simon identified his customer, team members, regional managers, and suppliers. So his role focuses on daily operations and customer satisfaction with the financial targets set by the head office. And Tom, on the other hand, identified students, volunteers, university department, and also community partners as his stakeholders. So in his word, we exist for students, so they need always come first. So this aligns with Freeman 1984 stakeholder theory, which views stakeholders as any group that can affect or is affected by an organization's objectives. However, Tom's perspective leans more towards a normative stakeholders approach where moral obligations guide decisions, compared to Simon's more instrumental view focused on business outcomes. Coming to question two, we have what are these stakeholders' priorities and do they differ? So Simon emphasized that customers expect speed and quality, staff want fair treatment, and management expects profitability. So these priorities often align, but sometimes there are conflicts, especially when time or budget is tight. And on the other hand, Tom explained that students want inclusivity, support, and events that matters to them, while volunteers want personal growth and university partners expect alignment with policy. So these priorities sometimes clash when the resources are limited. So this reflects the Mitchell 1997 stakeholders salience model, which categorized the stakeholders based on power, legitimacy, and urgency. So in Tom's case, students have urgency and legitimacy if even if they lack formal power, requiring careful balancing. So coming to the question three, where I asked what stakeholders tension do you face and how are they managed? So Simon shared that the most frequent tension is balancing the staff well-being with the corporate performance targets. So for example, when under pressure to reduce the costs, he still tries to maintain the team morale through recognition and open communication. And Tom mentioned that a big tension is between rising student needs and also limited funding. So when students ask for more support or events, he often collaborates with the volunteer or negotiate with the university department to find a compromise. So this supports contingency theory, which argues that leadership and management must adapt to specific context, as Donaldson 2001. So both manager approach the stakeholders' tension by flexibility, using communication and trust building rather than rigid structure. So coming to question four, where I asked them, do you believe the organization should tackle the social issues? So Simon said yes, but only to the extent it aligns with the brand. So his store and his company participate in um, sustainability campaigns and ethical sourcing ina- initiative, but these are led by the head office. And Tom, however, said tackling these social issues is core to their mission. So his team actively support mental health, gender inclusion, and food security initiatives on campus. So this shows the difference between strategic CSR in the for-profit sector and mission-based CSR in the not-for-profit space. So based on Carroll's 1991, the CSR pyramid highlight this. So for businesses, social responsibility builds on economic and legal foundation, while the while for the social organizations, ethics and philanthropy come first. So to conclude, both managers work with multiple stakeholders, but they priorities and approaches differ. So Simon operates within a results-driven model where stakeholders are important but must support the business goals. And Tom's model is more like community-driven, with stakeholders' needs shaping strategy from the ground up. So these findings support theories like Freeman's stakeholder theories, Mitchell, Salient's model, and Carroll's CSR framework, while also showing how flexible stakeholders' engagement is important in both sectors. And here is all the references I use in this report. Thank you for listening.